Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. Today's topic is virtual machines versus containers overview. So in this video, I'm going to cover what is difference between virtual machines and containers. What are virtual machines? Benefits of virtual machines, popular VM providers, what are containers and benefits of containers and popular container provider. So let us start. First one is what is virtual machine? I mean, what is difference between virtual machine and containers? So in this diagram, you can see virtual machines left side. So here what we do normally, let's suppose we have infrastructure, host server, or it may be your laptop also. On that what you can do, you can install the hypervisor. Hypervisor is one of the VM providers, basically softwares. Okay, so hypervisor, so you have your laptop or host server, that is your infrastructure where you have limited RAM, you have limited your hard disks and various other things, and of course, and then you can install the hypervisor, and then you can create multiple VM also on your laptop, VM1, VM2, right? So what you can do, you can install the OS like Windows on one VM, and on second VM you can install the Linux, and third VM you can install OS Unix. Okay, and then you can divide. Let's suppose I have hard disk of 500 GB or more than that, and then I can divide that hard disk into these 3 VM, or my RAM, I have 16 GB RAM, and that can be divided into these 3 VM. Okay, so in this way you can create multiple virtual machines on your host system or on your laptop, right? Other side, let us see containers. So in the containers, same thing, I have host server, and that is my infrastructure, and then that is your operating system of that server, and then on that you can directly, let's suppose I have laptop. On laptop I have my RAM, hard disk, OS, and on that laptop OS, what I can do, I can install container softwares, that is Docker, or it may be other also, but Docker is popular, so I'm giving the example of Docker. And on that, after installing that container engine or Docker, on that, after that you can create various containers, container 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Why we need to create multiple containers? Let's suppose I am running a application which is using Windows OS, another is using Linux, and third one is using Unix or iOS, or with their respective dependencies also. So for that purpose, when we want to run the multiple applications on different configuration with different dependencies on the same machine, then you need to create multiple containers and install that application respective containers and respective dependency related to that application, and then do your business. I mean, you can run the multiple application on the same server. So this is all about differences in virtual machines and containers. Very clear. Here for each VM you need to create OS. Here you need to create just, you need to install the container engine on your existing OS. Okay. Now next one is, what is VM? What are VMs? So basically, so VMs, as we clearly mentioned that I know you have your host machines, host server, you need to install hypervisor, and then you can create multiple VMs, right? And those VMs, whatever configuration you want, that you need to mention that I want this much RAM or this much other resources, and those resources would be fixed for that VM. Whether one VM is highly loaded, another is free, still we can't share those resources across the VM also, right? And also there are some default softwares like Paint or snipboard or maybe other some default software would be installed automatically when you install this window. They would be taking unnecessary memories also, and similarly to other VM also. So now what are the benefits of VM? All OS resources available to apps, yes, and then well established functionalities, a robust management tool, well known security tool and controls. That is good benefit. Security perspective, VM is really good. The ability to run the different OS on one physical machine. That is another difference, another benefit of the VM. Cost saving compared to running separate physical machine. Yes, it is saving cost as compared to your separate server or physical machine or your desktop or your laptop, right? So that is these are the benefit. Now what are the popular VM providers? One is which I use mostly, Microsoft Hyper-V. That is last one. And first one is VMware Workstation Player, VirtualBox, GN Project. So these four are popular, which I listed. There are many more. Okay. So this is all about benefits and popular provider for VM. Now moving to next, what are containers basically? So as we mentioned that containers is something which can be use the same operating system, only you need to install the container software, that is Docker, and you can create multiple containers, and then whatever OS you are using in specific containers you can install, and then directly install the dependencies or that application setup. So that is kind of image. So the container runs just like instance or processes. Okay, so that is the beauty of containers, and it won't require unnecessary default softwares. Just like VM, it isn't needed that. It is, if one container is idle and other is taking more resources, then they can share resources across, because their base operating system is common on which container engine is installed or Docker is installed. So that is the beauty. On demand, they can scale up and scale down. So that is good, and it is better than virtual machine also, right? Now what are the benefits basically? So benefits are here. Benefits of container: reduce the IT management resources, faster spin you ups, anytime quickly they can scale up, scale down. Smaller size means one physical machine can host many containers. That is beauty and better than VM. Reduce and simplified security updates. That's also good. Less code to transfer, migrate, and upload workload. Okay, you need to write. You can quickly, get them from the cloud, and then you can transfer it there and migrate and upload the workload also. So that's the beauty. What are the key providers for containers? Popular container provider. Docker is one. Docker is itself a familiar, or you can say leading containerization platform. Okay, so that is also Docker, open source. And then second one is Kubernetes, which is created by the Google is founder. So Kubernetes is also open source containerization orchestrator platform, which is created by the Google. Third one is AKS, Azure Kubernetes Service. So Microsoft has created this Azure Kubernetes and Azure Service Fabric. They are very famous. Azure Kubernetes is part of AKS. It's a service available in Azure if you're using Azure. It's tightly coupled with Azure, as I would say. And Azure Service Fabric is also part of Azure, right? Fourth one is AWS, AWS, Amazon Web Services. So they are using EC2 container service, ECS. So ECS is tightly coupled with the AWS. Okay. And then IBM is also cloud provider. So they are using Bluemix, IBM Bluemix. And then last, which I know, that is Red Hat. Okay, so that is also one of the famous in the market. So these are the popular container providers. You need to, if you want to use the containers, then you have to install them on your host server, on OS of the host server. Yes. So that is all about the benefit of containers. Now, this is another quick about some key highlights about differences of the VM and containers. One is VM is heavyweight and container is lightweight. Limited performance and it is a native performance. Each VM runs on its own OS. That is something better than your physical server, but it's still this is the issue. But in case of container, all containers shares the host OS. That's the beauty. Hardware level virtualization, you can see in the virtual machine, and container OS level virtualization. That is good. Start time in minutes. It's a start in minutes. So this is something one drawback. However, containers time in millisecond. They can quickly start up in milliseconds. Allocates required memory, whatever memory you are fixing while creating VM, that would be reserved by the VM. No one can use it. But it requires less memory spaces and also reuse shared across the containers. Fully isolated and more secure. Yes. As compared to VM, your containers are less secure. So that is all about. Thank you very much for watching. See you in the next video.